Say something for the podcast. Tell the people what you feel.
I'm just jazzed about being on the show, man.
You are listening to The Objective Jerk, where objectiveness is the objective, and I am said jerk.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. I was like, you know what? I'm going to record a podcast. And now that I get all ready, now I'm kind of like not wanting to. Anyway, this is The Objective Jerk, and I'm said jerk. Thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to kind of... Why do I always start doing that? I start organizing my desk every time. Kind of having a... I'm in my... I mean, I always say it, but I'm in my like depressed mood of where anything and everything is shit. You know, it's just so annoying. But so I've had like I think I talked about in my last podcast about having some contractors working on some stuff that we've been needing to get done at the house and stuff like that. Which, you know, it's like if they're not here, I'm annoyed because they're not getting it done. If they are here, I'm annoyed because I'm just tired of them being here. But then it's like, you know, I want them to, like, I want these things to get done. It's just really frustrating. Because no matter what, I can't, like, make myself happy. And it's only temporary, but still, it just gets old, man. So, and the other thing though is like for me, when I'm in my shit mood, I don't like surprises. I like things to be planned out. I mean, I guess I'm like that regardless, but I don't get irritated when I'm in my shit mood. So, let's see. We have like this contractor. He's here. He's doing like 2 major jobs, and then he's been doing some other smaller stuff. And in my room a couple of years ago, we got a split type air conditioner. God, my ears like plugged all of a sudden. So we took out the window AC and we got a split type. Well, we've had that hole where the window AC goes. Well, I've had like a little piece of paneling wood over it for the last couple of years. So as part of, you know, getting some stuff done, we're getting that filled in, right? And so I'm in my shit mood and like I don't know. Like I sit in my room. I don't even, it's just, you know it's like, I don't like to be in public very often, but when I'm in my shit mood, I know not to be in public because I can go off, you know what I mean? So I just stay away from things. So I don't put myself in that situation. And sorry, I moved into my room around, so it's like I'm not where I usually am, so it's like trying to get situated here with the computer and everything. But anyway, so let's see. So I'm chilling in my room, and then like right towards the end of the day for the workers, you know, I mean, like maybe they had 2 hours left or something like that. Maybe she's like, hey, they're gonna start working on filling in this hole where the AC was. And I was like, what? Right now? You know, it's kind of raining and stuff. I was like, dude, I was kind of immediately went from, I mean, I'm already in a shit mood, but then it's like I'm immediately just annoyed. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I could have been like, no, they can do it tomorrow or whatever. But it's like I'm trying to be somewhat cordial. And so where the hole is, where the window AC was, there's, you know, the big steel cage thing that held the AC in, right? Now, we've had some contractors do some shabby work and some crap like that. The guys we have now, I think, they're pretty good at what they do. But the guys that built this house, dude, they were phenomenal, man, because it's just like immaculate. Anyway, so I tried a few months back to see if I could kind of get that cage or how well it was in there. And it kind of would wiggle a little, right? But I didn't mess with it too much. So then the guys are like, hey, we're gonna take it out, right? So I'm like, oh crap, okay. So I get pissed off, but whatever. So I move my bed and I move stuff in my room to make room for it and everything. I take the paneling off and everything. And they're looking at what they're gonna do, and they're wanting to like cut it out. And here's the thing is, I mean, I guess I could have tried to put the panel back up and let them do it. Maybe that's what I should have done now that I think about it. But I think I've talked about it before. There are certain triggers, right, that kind of will get my stupid brain thinking about stupid things and making me act stupid, right? Over the years, through therapy and whatnot, I've kind of learned what some of those triggers are. And one of them is metal, like welding, the smell of welding. More specifically, though, like when you grind metal, when you cut metal and stuff like that, that smell. So if I know it's coming, I'm okay with it. Like if I can, I'll go, I mean, for the most part, I think I'm still kind of trying to figure out if it's the case or not. Like I'm trying to pay attention. Like if I do anything where I work with metal, how I am later, you know what I mean? But it does seem if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go help my buddy weld a trailer or something, or I don't know. If I know I'm gonna be doing it, then I can kind of get my brain ready and I can kind of, you know what I mean? So that's one aspect of it, which kind of got me pissed off too. So now they're wanting to cut the metal. I'm like, no, we're not cutting the metal. And then my wife ends up leaving because she had to go do some other stuff. She's always having to do stuff, and I just sit here and not do anything. I feel bad for her sometimes. And so the guys are trying to, I'm kind of working on the thing. I'm pounding this and that. And the people that built it, they built it good. Like it's not going to just simply come out. Like they got it made tight, and it's like, it's going to get some work to get out of it. Yes, we could have cut it with a grinder, and it would have been over in like 5-10 minutes at most, but it's right in my room. I didn't want the smell of the cut metal lingering in my room, and I didn't want to be sleeping tonight kind of smelling it. You know what I mean? I tried to avoid putting myself in those kind of situations or those possible triggers if I can,
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for listening to The Objective Jerk. I greatly appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, comment on wherever you're finding this, and you can also email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. So hope you're enjoying it, and please continue on with the episode.
So I was like, we're not cutting it. We can't cut it. Unfortunately, the guys, they're not the greatest at speaking English. I mean, we can communicate, but it's pretty bad. And, it's like so I'm kind of smacking it with the sledge, loosening it up, doing this and that. And it's like, yeah, I can see that, crap, this is going to take some work. And then they were wanting to like maybe cut the concrete, and I'm like, no, I don't want to get all dusty and crap in my room either. It's like, we're going to have to like chip away at this. So I was like, I'll do it. But the dude, the one guy just kept, saying like, we can cut the metal and it'll be easy. And he was right. But the thing is like, I'm not cutting the metal. And I couldn't explain to him why we couldn't cut the metal. But now I think about it, I should have just put that paneling that I took off, I should have put it back on somehow the best I could and let them cut it. And we would have done with it like that. But, oh well. But kind of getting over like a sinus, kind of cold too, man. But so my wife leaves, and I'm getting a sledgehammer, and the guy keeps kind of saying, I think he's trying to say, look, this catching here. Maybe not. He might have been just, trying to help me out, and he wasn't. But to me, I kept thinking, he kept saying, well, look, there's this, we should just cut it. It's going to be easier. And I kept saying, I get it. I know. Okay. But we're not cutting it. So I was like, we got to figure out something else. And I start just wailing on this thing with the sledgehammer. And I think it actually might have been a little therapeutic for me, but I was kind of like, fuck, man, if this guy says something. But I think he went away and he did something else. So I think maybe he got it. And then I was messing with it for a while. And then the guy that's in charge of everything, he kind of helped. And we got it out. It took an extra, I don't know how long it took. Probably an hour. We could have got, if we would have cut it, it would have been so easy. But the thing is, it's not, I'm not blaming, the contract at all, but I wish he would have said either this morning or at the latest, right after lunch, when they came back from lunch, saying, hey, we're going to work on that hole. So, just do what you have to do. So then I could have gotten things ready, could have looked at it. Because, maybe if I looked at it, or I had, a few hours to kind of mess with it myself, I might have put the panel up. Maybe I would have cut. I don't know. Who knows? But was trying to hurry, because it was the end of the day. I was surprised that they were even doing it. It's like, dude, aren't you guys like cleaning up to go? And it just kind of, it wasn't planned out real well. Plus you have my dumb ass and just everything. But it got out. They blocked it up. I think they finished it on the outside because it's all concrete. And then tomorrow they'll finish the inside, I think. I didn't go out there and look, but I'm pretty sure. But I told my wife, she comes back after it's all over, and I'm like, man, that was bad timing. I was like, not that I was going to like take the sledgehammer to these guys or something like that, but man, I was sitting there thinking, God, if he says it one more fucking time, and I don't know. I don't think so. I would like to think that I have some control over it, but I do actually. I think I know my wife and my oldest son, they kind of worry about that I'm just going to go all of a sudden just go berserk and go, Wolverine on somebody. And yeah, I guess it's possible, but that would only be if somebody went at me or it was somebody started attacking one of my kids or my wife and beating on them or something. Or if I'm trying to break up something and then somebody, hits me or does something, then I might flip a switch and then, but I'm not just going to be frustrated with somebody for no reason and just murder them or something. You know what I mean? But I was getting pretty worked up about it. And then my wife came back and like I said, I was like, man, so I explained to her and I was like, hey, can you just explain to them? I was like, you don't need to go in details. I don't care. It's just explain to them that there's a reason, why my brain and I do the things I do. I know he's probably like, dude, this guy's an idiot, man. Why doesn't he just cut it? Could use a grinder, cut through it. It was pretty thick angle iron, but still, I just know that smell. And for the longest time, I didn't catch it. I remember I would just go do things or we would, whatever. It wasn't all the time or anything, but I would smell it. And it was all of a sudden I'm like, man, I smell when I got blown up. I'm like, what the hell? What is that? And then I just kind of gets things going. There's lots of other ones too. But it wasn't until I think it was on Halloween. I was trick-or-treating and we were walking down the road and I got a whiff of somebody welding and cutting and stuff like that. And I was like, was like, oh man, I smell it. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking like it's like in my head. And then eventually we like turn the corner or whatever, and then see a guy like working on his exhaust system in his car or something. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, and I don't think it messed with me that at that point. I think I was kind of happy that I kind of put two and two together, sort of. But up to that point, though, it was kind of, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I still think there's like a couple things that probably trigger me that I don't realize it yet. And see, that's kind of why I don't really like to go out either. You know, I mean, it could be maybe driving out. I don't think so, but I mean, driving. Now, there's a lot of similarities to Iraq as there are to here in the Philippines. Mainly the construction of some of the buildings and stuff. I mean, it's way nicer. I mean, I haven't been to Iraq in 20 years or no. What is it? 18, 17. When did I leave? Yeah, 17 years or something. But I don't know how it is now, but the Philippines it's similar. There are similarities, but it's nowhere near the same as Iraq. But I mean, you know, maybe those similarities do kind of push their way through. I don't know, you know, and the way the traffic is. But usually that was mainly people, though. I remember going through like this market area. Maybe that's why I don't like to go to the market here, though. There's a market right by our house. It's really cool, though, because there's all kinds of stuff and fruits and vegetables and everything. And I don't think that bothers me. But I wonder if maybe sometimes it does. I remember driving through this market area in Iraq. It was part of our route a lot, and it just people would get so crazy. And I want to say at first people got out of our way, but then after a while, after us being there for a little while, they were like, "Yeah, fuck these Americans." But I just remember driving. It would be so hot that, why did we have our windows down, actually? I mean, we didn't have a choice the second time. But I think because the ACs, the Up Armor and Humvees had AC, but they sucked. And sometimes they didn't even work. But I just remember riding through the market a lot with my window down, and I'd be driving with one hand, and I'd have my pistol just like right here, just ready to, if somebody, you know, for whatever reason. But then the second time, you know, with the shape charges and everything, they realized that the glass that's in the Up Armor Humvees was like the strongest armor against the EFPs. So they would double those up in the door. And actually, I think I'm like 99.99% sure that's what saved my life, were those glass panels, man. At the very least, saved, you know, some limbs of mine. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe going to the market here, I don't think it does, but maybe it does subconsciously, and I don't realize it because I won't go for a while. I wonder if that's what it is. I mean, is it? It kind of feels like it's just a cycle. Like I just go on these cycles. That's what I've kind of. That's the. What am I trying to say? That's what I've come to. That's the realization that I've came to, is like, it's just a cycle. It's going to come regardless. Sometimes maybe sooner or whatever because of triggers. But maybe like going to the market does actually kind of trigger me and put me in like that certain mode. And then if something else happens, and then I don't know. But it's like I can't sit here and just not go anywhere, you know? I mean, when I'm in my really bad moods like I am now, I don't go anywhere, because when I do, I've almost gotten into some things with people, and so I'm trying to really not have that happen, you know? But it just seems like my good times are far and few between. Not good times, but just where my brain is not the way it is. I don't know. It's just nuts. You know, and then they talk about how kind of exposure to things is good for you as well. So maybe, you know, maybe it does kind of trigger me in a sense, but it's a good trigger to get me, I don't know. The thing is too, is like, I don't think I don't have like just PTSD. There's so many other, I'm an introvert, you know, which a lot of people think just introvert means shy, but that's not. I actually saw a thing that kind of listed the introvert thing. It was actually, how much time do I got? Oh, I'm already at 20 minutes. So I can get a few minutes. But, you know, I remember the first time, I think I might have talked about this too. A friend of mine who was a girl that I had a crush on for a little bit, but she's the one, like, I was the first time I even heard of the term introvert and extrovert. And, see, like, even this is like, yeah, people don't like public. It's like, it's not so much, you know, oh, I'm shy, or I like to, you know, because it's not, let me see. I saw something and I was like, oh, okay, this actually listed pretty good. You know, when I first got to my unit after basic in the Army, I didn't go out. Like, when I was off, I would go get something to eat. I'd get some food. I'd go back to my room. And that was it. My roommate was an older, I don't know, but like, he either had a girlfriend or whatever, but he was never there. So I basically had the dorm room to myself. And I used to get kind of mocked a little bit, I guess, more so than I realized, because I didn't go and hang out with anybody in my platoon and stuff like that, which, you know, some may feel like that's kind of mean or whatever, but in a military environment, especially like in a combat unit where you can go to combat and this, you know, you got to know who you're with. So I get, you know, and it wasn't like they were bullying me. They just kind of gave me some shit, but, you know, and I kind of was like, I don't want to go out drinking, because that's why I joined the Army to get away from all that crap. But the other part is I am an introvert, so it's like I can do social things, but then it's like I feel overloaded, and for me to recharge and decompress, I do that being alone. And I can never explain that, because I didn't really know when I was younger. I remember even before the Army, it's like friends would want to go and go partying and go to the bar, or go do this, and it's like, dude, I don't want to go, you know. And they're just, oh, come on, and then I'd start getting pissed off. It's like, no, I don't want to go. Sometimes they'd get me to go and whatever, and sometimes I would go and I would have fun, you know. But it's just, I don't know. I am completely content with just being alone and not talking with anybody and not being around anyone. That's one of the things of being an introvert, you know. You thrive on being alone. Some people cannot stand to be alone, you know, which I guess would be an extrovert. Yeah, so I mean, like, here's, like, let's see. So so on top of just being shy, so signs of an introvert. So being around a lot of people drains your energy. So that's, yeah, totally me. It's like, I just, like, they have birthday parties here every other day, it seems like. And so, and I don't go to hardly any of them. But then when I do, or we go and do something, or we go out in public, or we go and do whatever, it's like I need to have like a couple of days of just leave me alone and just let me watch YouTube or something. I don't know. Like, we're going to Manila in a couple weeks to get some stuff done, and plus, you know, take the kids to see some stuff and do some things in that. and I'm really not looking forward to it. I mean, I am, but I'm not. But I know once we get back, I just need to okay, leave me alone. And, that's how it is. But yeah, so, being around lots of people drains your energy. You enjoy solitude. I already talked about that. You have a small group of close friends, which is also true. People may find it difficult to get to know you. And so that's kind of what I was talking about when I was in the Army. Too much stimulation leaves you feeling distracted. And then you might think, I don't know, it's you think okay, you're an introvert and then you join the Army, which, okay, I didn't really realize the extent of my introvertism or whatever, but I think that it actually helped me, though, in some ways, though. Very self-aware. Yeah. You like to learn by watching. Yeah. You are drawn to jobs that involve independence. Yeah. Yeah, my favorite jobs was where I was kind of by myself. So are there different types of introverts? Social, thinking, anxious, inhibited? I think social for me. But yeah, so I mean, it's just, it's just not it's not just shy. Someone that's an introvert's not shy. There's more to it. But, anyway, that is me, a middle-aged, introverted veteran who's always grumpy. I don't know. Does any of this ring a bell for you? Do you go through the same thing? Did you go through the same thing? What do you do to cope and all that kind of stuff? I got to get back into mountain biking, I think I really do. But anyway, I'm at 25 minutes, so I need to cut it short. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your time. Oh, and there's, if you do want to make some sort of comment aside from Rumble, the actual, the Buzzsprout, there's a link where you can click on it and leave a little comment for the, just FYI. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.
You just put yourself through another episode of The Objective Jerk. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Please email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment, wherever you find this, follow. It all helps. But thanks again, and I'll see you next time.